In the last couple of months, I've seen a sea change amongst the people of India, whichever section they belong to, whether they are in corporate section, education, any other section. There is so much of interest shown in knowing about corruption, the volume of corruption, and solutions to fight corruption. It's a very, very encouraging thing, which I don't think about 1.5 years ago, nobody thought of organizing seminars and call people who are not from their line of business or thinking. The topic that I was asked to say is ethics in corporate section. Now, ethics is something people understand it differently. I was addressing the various collectors of about 8 or 9 states in Hyderabad this month, beginning, where one of the senior officers speaking to the collectors said, ethics is purely personal. In administration, we go by the rules. Ethics does not play a role there. Rules alone plays. So far as your personal life is concerned, ethics applies. When my turn came to speak, I said, I totally disagree. There is, of course, ethics in business, ethics in professions, ethics in personal life, ethics in the entire global thing. But they are interconnected. Ethics is something that you do honestly as required by law. You don't bypass the law only to do something ethically. Therefore, ethic is universal. There isn't an organization, be it the corporate, business, professionals, or anybody who can say, no, we are beyond ethics. Our deeds need not be ethical at all. As human beings, we have certain ethical standards. That applies when you step into a corporate world also. As a corporate, you have certain ethics there also. But they don't clash. It's only a person who wants to make an excuse, he then picks up and says, my personal ethics clashes with the ethics of the corporate. I mean, with my experience of 72 years, out of which in the last 5 years I worked as Lokayukta, which was the which gave me the most knowledge about ethics, corruption, maladministration. I sometimes feel earlier to that I was a frog in the well, though I served the Supreme Court of India for 6.5 years as a judge, as Solicitor General of India, Advocate General and other so places. I never learned about lack of ethics can lead to such tragedies and sorrows in life, and all, especially in governance. Your ethical standard, not following the ethical standard, may not hit the entire society. But in governance, if there is no ethics, then it hits the society directly. And in the society, it hits the poorest the most. I'll give an example. My experience as a Lokayukta, and you make the judgment for yourself. I don't want an answer from you. Nor am I saying this to get any praise or encomiums from you. 2004, a young tailor with his wife came to me with an 8-month-old child, kept the child in the floor of the house, chamber, and said, "Sir, please look after this child. We are going to run away." We had a system in Karnataka Lokayukta, which you may not find in many public offices. We expect a person who comes there for whatever purpose to sit down and talk. Because in a democracy, in a Prajaprabhutva, it's Praja who is the Prabhu. He has every right to sit down and talk to him. We are public servants, Janta Sevaks. So I said, "Please lift the child, please sit down, then I'll listen to you." They did that. I asked them, "What's your problem?" So this child has got a part of the intestine missing, below the large intestine. I was told that if I take this child to a super speciality or a higher hospital, bigger hospital, the pediatric specialist or a surgeon can reconstruct that missing part of the intestine. The doctor said, "I could do it, but it will cost you a certain sum of money, which this tailor couldn't afford." That's why he brought the child to Lokayukta. I don't know why. Now the easiest way for me to do that is to give a letter of recommendation or make a telephone call to the superintendent of Victoria Hospital or Bangalore, Bowring Hospital, which are the two famous hospitals run by government. But my experience has shown, from what I heard from many people, that these days, if a patient goes to the government hospitals vertically, they come out horizontally. Therefore, I wanted to try something different, and I sent some of my officers to some of the super speciality hospitals with a letter that Lokayukta is begging to give this child a future. It is to eat through the mouth and defecate through the mouth. Many hospitals responded, and one hospital in the old Madras Airport Road said, "We'll do it tomorrow." They did the operation. And child was there for 1 month. Today, the child is like me, like anybody else. I'm here to put a proposal, a question to you. That's why I said I don't want any encomiums, but here is a doctor who takes an oath on receiving his first medical degree, MBBS. It is called Hippocrates' oath. Because the Greek physician who drafted the oath, his name is Hippocrates. Today, I think it has become a Hippocratic oath. This doctor did not remember that oath when this child was taken to him. He was working in a government hospital, which is a free hospital for poor people. More than that, in 2006, he was drawing a basic salary of 33,000 rupees with DEA, TA, HA, everything is extra. In 2008, when the child was taken, by the recommendation of the 5th Pay Commission, his salary had gone to 80,000 rupees, proportionate increase in DEA, TA, and HRA. He didn't have the basic humanitarian consideration to utilize his knowledge and give future to a child. According to me, he is not a human being. He is just a person. We are all born as persons. It's when we acquire humanism or humanitarian attitude, we become human beings. In Kannada, there is a saying, translated to English, it goes like this. Become what you want to become, but become a human first. That is when you become a human being. This is what I say nowadays. Formerly I used to say in my speeches, boycott the corrupt. That's the only way you can teach them a lesson. It's only when you boycott, when there's a social stigma, people tend to move out because they want to be in the society with some reputation. But today, I say, corrupt people are not humans. They belong to a different category altogether. When his salary went to 80,000 rupees, his greed did not stop. You call it ethical, moral, or call it by any name. That is the thing that is required in a human being. Similarly, in corporate world. Well, can we say that to snatch away a contract of supply or anything from a competitor, you pay a bribe and get the contract? Would you call it ethical? Questions have been asked to me. If I don't pay a bribe, somebody else will pay a bribe. If I don't get contract, then what will I run? How will I run my business? Of course, there is no absolute answer except saying close down. You may say it's easier said than done. Then you have no answer for honesty, and you don't have any differentiation between the honest and dishonest. I did ask one of the corporate member of the corporate body, don't you pay bribe when you make supplies to the government? He was fair enough to tell me, the company doesn't pay, but the dealer does. I think you have to find within your family to which you belong to, you got to find a solution. I think the indiscriminate growth of industry also leads to indiscriminate competition. You got to make an assessment of the requirement in the field where you are wanting to enter. See, is there a place for you, or the field is already overloaded where you'll have to get into a competition in corruption.